Good morning. So as Greg just mentioned, I started Local Splash, which is a product of Relevant Ads. I previously was at local.com, established a destination, and in case you can't tell, I'm everything local. Local is what we do and focus on. In case you're wondering, they do have this at Bullock's and Macy's. They have 3 different sizes, so no, I'm kidding. This is obviously a custom-made jacket, but I'm going to be covering some of the basics and letting the rest of the panel take over some advanced topics. If you guys have additional questions, we welcome them at the end. So first, I wanted to address what we come across. We deal with SMBs and multi-location businesses, but SMBs are particularly unaware of what the internet can provide for them in local search. And they're familiar with, they know now that Yellow Pages is gone and Google, or as in some of our foreign clients, they refer to it as the Google, is where they want to be. So please fire away on a brief video.
Hello. I am looking to get my business on the first page of the Google. Do you know how to get me there?
I am a local search engine optimization expert, and yes, I know how it is done, but you must realize that there are hundreds of factors involved. I would be more than happy to explain.
I want my hair salon on the first page of the Google and on the Google Maps by tomorrow. Can you do that?
Well, I have to research some things and look at your competition. I don't know anything about your hair salon. Do you have a website?
Yes. My nephew made it for me. It's www.mollyskickasshaircuts.com. It has some exciting pictures of me cutting hair. No boring words to read. It's perfect.
Is your hair salon in a densely populated city?
Yes. It is in New York City. That is why I need to be on the first page of the Google. When anybody in the state of New York types hair salon into Google, millions of people will see my business and come get their haircuts. I want it on there by tomorrow.
Okay, I think I understand your comprehension of local search, but there are some details that you should be aware of when it comes to Google Maps.
I am aware that if I am on the first page of results, everyone in the state of New York will come to my hair salon to get their haircut. Starting tomorrow.
Did you know that there are over 3,000 hair salons in New York City, and that there are only 7 map results on the first page of Google?
I don't care. The Yellow Pages and newspaper ads do not work anymore. TV is too expensive. Everyone uses the computer and their iPhone to find local businesses these days. That is why I need to be on the first page of the Google Maps. Tomorrow. Okay?
Not okay. If you are willing to listen to what I will have to do to get you there, then I will explain. It is pretty complicated, but I will give you the main ideas so you can get the point. Are you willing to listen?
Will I be there by tomorrow?
No.
Then I am going somewhere else. Someone even told me I can do it by myself.
Yes. You can do the optimization yourself, and everything you need to do it is free. But it will take countless hours of work and organization for the next few months, and then it will take a continuous effort to keep you there. It is a full-time job.
I don't care. I need to be there by tomorrow. Or by the end of the week at the latest. I am going somewhere else.
Okay, good luck.
I don't need it. My nephew told me that he can do it. He is in college and has a Mac computer. I will get him to put me on the Google.
Don't let this be you. Get educated on local search. It is the most effective advertising a local business can do today.
Yes, put me on the Google. So that's obviously not what you guys are fall in the court of, but just to let you know, that's the landscape of businesses out there. There's about 14 to 18 million businesses in the United States, and most of them are misrepresented. I should say about 30% of them are perhaps misrepresented, so there's still a good degree of disparity between things. A little bit of stats here. Local search is, or search in general, is still growing. We have estimated about 18 billion searches in June. If we take some statistics we've gotten back from Google, they have about 30% of US queries are local in nature, either implicit or explicit, like someone typed in chiropractor and they gave them local results. And so about, close to 6 billion local searches. So we're talking about something that's substantial. It's made its way to the top of all the search engines. As you can see, it's currently dominated predominantly with Google Maps being the forefront of the search destinations that made it. We're very excited to see some other ones taking stronger positions from it. A little bit of background. The data that we deal with all comes from the Yellow Pages. We've got 3 companies, InfoUSA, Axiom, and Localese, that have essentially aggregated that data, in some cases literally transcribing the Yellow Page content manually and then digitizing it. So that's the background of where this data is coming from, and it's still important and still valid in some cases, which I'll talk about in a minute. But the problem with that information is it's stale, it's missing some records, it has typographical errors, there's omissions, and then there's records that shouldn't be there anymore, and they still are. So about 30% of businesses, when we did a study a few years back, were misrepresented in some context across all of these 3 destinations, these 3 data providers. So when starting this off, you really should assess where are you located. Do a search on the search engine and find out, do you show up? You've probably done this before, but run it for different queries, things that you're interested in showing up for, and see how different the results may show up. We offer a tool, a free ranking report, that given a phone number, we generally can find out what business you are, and we'll predefine the categories or keywords that you would like to perhaps come up for. So we find out who is your competition, how are they ranking across all 3 search destinations, and then have some additional statistics to tell you the top keywords, which ones are performing in terms of impressions and click-through activity, and this is based upon our sampling of information across the United States. As well, we identify what are the optimal key categories based upon your business type in your area. Categories do vary by region because of the Yellow Page data that it comes from. Also, based upon your region, how far out are consumers really coming or performing searches to find businesses in your area? So there's a breakdown, it's hard to see on that graph, but that pie chart essentially shows the percentage of consumers that are finding your business from outside your city even. And it's pretty good fragmentation, so it's not everyone, local is not just necessarily within your own region or neighborhood, it certainly spreads out. So this is free ranking report .localsplash.com. It's something we have in beta, but it will be provided free for all times. So what would be a strategy for getting rankings in, high rankings in Google? And these are the steps that we essentially advocate for, which is first going to find out where you currently rank and how to claim and get your existing listing. Finding your website and making sure that it's optimal, so it's some on-page SEO effort. Making sure that your data, where it exists in the core data providers, is consistent. It needs to be there with the exact same name, address, phone number. Then providing some other submissions. We have other search destinations and business portals. And then it's a continual effort. So on Google Places, you certainly can search for your listing. And if it exists already, go ahead and claim it. Don't be tempted to create a new listing thinking that you'll get double the juice coming to your website or your business. You need to have a single record. Duplication is bad. It'll segment, rather than having one ranking that does optimal, you'll have 2 that perform less. And you may even get them blacklisted. So go ahead and claim it. You'll have a whole series of options to clean up and change the information. So if you have inaccuracies or just the content is not very well filled out, go ahead and take the time to fill out and complete all the form fields they've got. They tell you how far along you are. By doing 100%, you've completed as much content as they want. Google's hungry for content. Give them everything they've got, they ask for. I'll go ahead and mention, it was something that we just started, I actually announced it at the show here. When submitting photos, one thing that Google is looking at is the metadata within that photo. If you right-click on an image in Windows Explorer, you can set several attributes. Things like the location where the photo was taken, latitude, longitude, but also you can just put abstract attributes. So you can actually use this as an opportunity to put in some categories and keywords that are metadata behind a photo. So very valuable, and certainly your business name. And then lastly, they have, even once you've got a business profile, if it's static information, come back to it. You can come back and provide a Twitter post, a Twitter-like post, I should say, where it's like a message that lasts for 30 days. Just say anything. Specifically, you can reference a coupon, and similarly, the coupon is there, and it's just another attribute that keeps your business fresh. Bear in mind that when the search engines have aggregated these 18 million listings, and many more potentially from crawling, they have to make a decision as to which ones show up versus those that are lower down the list. Part of that is based upon the freshness and accuracy that they think that the business is still alive and kicking. On your website, there are some things you need to pay attention to. So there are the traditional SEO that you'll hear from other panels, and the knowledge that you already have is meta tags and title tags, still very important. But we also look for the name, address, phone number in clear text, ideally as a footer on your web page or a contact us. If it's a footer, it would be great across all your web pages. Whereas if it's a contact page, fine, it's sufficient there, but it must be in clear text, consistent with the information that you've provided really everywhere else. So we look for a local street address and even localized phone number is to be ideal for matching characteristics. So when crawling the whole web, they're finding all the pages that have a business name, phone number, and address, and they're associating it to a place page within Google. The more pages they find in general is going to increase the ranking. And then just restate the same things that you've already stated in your business profile, what is it that you do, in plain text again. Because that content is obviously going to get added in. So everything you just did on Google, most of these other websites have some capacity to support that. We submit to several of these, and it adds to additional citations and references that your business is certainly alive and kicking, and the content adds to its optimization. So there's no question about the service that you provide. They've done this matching of, they only know the category from the Yellow Page group. How do they know which keywords to associate to it? And part of that is based upon all the content that they can find about your business elsewhere. So when you do submit to press releases or blogs, the way that the way that it's going to help your business, though, again, is only if it has that consistent name, address, phone number that is in your business profile. Sometimes 2 out of 3 will be sufficient to match, so you have name, address, and phone number. If you just had your name and your address, or your name and phone number, or just address, phone number, it can still match. But having all 3 is almost a slam dunk that it will be found, and if it's unique content, it may add as a citation, a web reference for that business. You've done all the good stuff, but you got to continue to do it. Again, when you go out of business, you don't call up the Yellow Pages, you don't call up Google and say, okay, go ahead and remove me now. It takes them time to figure it out, and they figure it out based upon lack of additional content. So you got to keep on going. Follow changes. Some of the areas that we look at is Search Engine Land has a locals only email distribution, very valuable. Google Business Groups is a constantly discussion portal of what's happening, and on average, it's about every 3 weeks or so, there's something interesting popping up. So at least specifically with Google, and let alone some of the other destinations. There are changes constantly with the search algorithm. There's the 7-pack where you see 7 listings in the search results. Sometimes you see somewhat of an organic or hybrid listings, which have the web page and a snippet in addition to the place. And literally that change of algorithm may be based upon your additional content that they find. So you actually can make a contribution to how that search algorithm changes in the way your results are displayed. So certainly you have to make sure that you've got all the destinations covered. Continuously go out and find, do I show up on Yahoo? Do I show up on Bing? And when I show up there, do I have a single listing? Is it correct? If you have a fragmentation of multiple listings with duplicates, it very often just gets completely disregarded by Google, especially when there's confusion between which record is the primary one on a third-party website. They'll only want to take a single web page as a reference from yours from every destination. If you do choose an SEO provider, because this is a constant thing, you either need to dedicate some time in your schedule or some worker in your company. But we look for a company that has a proven, long-standing track record. There's a lot of companies that offer local SEO on the side, and it's not their focus. What you may find is that, yes, they can have some success coming out the gate, but will they be able to maintain you, to be able to know when things have changed, to identify it proactively so that you don't have to be monitoring it all the time? So look for a company that has a established record with clients for quite a while, before jumping in the bucket with them. So that's the summary of my local search, and look forward to hearing advanced questions from you at the end. Thank you much.